action that's like brand new and it's sick.
Yep.
But I just finished booking almost everything. But I don't even know what to do because now I have like I'm military, so I just get really cheap tickets in general for about as cheap as you can get for not being involved with Disney.
I mean, wait until we actually get to go together for the first time, and you get to go in for free, and then you get your military discount on top of that. But also, like, I get discounts anywhere. I think it's like 35% off everything, more or less.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a really good discount.
Now it's not everything.
No, you get a better discount than me.
Yeah, I mean, we get treated.
Yeah, free is better than. Yeah, I was gonna say, free's better than. Whatever they can give the military. They can't give military free because every military dude would be showing up. Chipotle used to do a 50% military discount on burritos, and they quit doing it because I would see like military guys, I would do it too. Every time you'd see a guy walk in buying 4 burritos, like they just show their military ID and walk out of there for like $15, and Chipotle was like, we gotta cut this.
They realized they were getting screwed on the deal.
Yeah, because every military dude would be like, well, I can't come to Chipotle every day because my life sucks and I'm in the army. But I can buy 4 burritos and stick them in a fridge. No.
Oh, God. That'd be great. I can just see like everybody that's on deployment like going to Chipotle at once. And for like an hour, they are stuck making burritos that they get no profit from whatsoever.
No, even better, I knew a guy who lived off of Chipotle for lunch, and he would order the catering, show up, buy the catering, and the catering would give you like 8 individualized burritos for the week. And he would just show his military ID, get it half off, and then leave.
Damn.
And he would just put 8 burritos in his fridge, and that was his system. Which I'm sure there's some health risks that people could say with meat. Yeah, being stored that way, but I mean, we're not eating anything worse than old Chipotle. Like, the amount of MREs that go through all of our bodies and energy drinks, like, we can handle old Chipotle.
Did I show you that I got two MREs sitting in our room? Waiting to get eaten?
Yeah. I was dying.
Emily's all... I keep messing with the video. Numi, I made you a moderator in Discord, so you can hop in the voice chat whenever you please, and it will automatically let you in. I'm scared to eat one because I'm really nervous about what it's going to do to my stomach. Like, I'm not ready for it at all.
It's all it's going to do, bro.
Hey, Numi, how's it going?
Nick.
Hello.
What up? Sorry, we're talking about MREs, if you're familiar with what those are.
I'm not, but like I have one of my friends right now. He's like, I'm getting Chipotle. I'm like, do you know they're talking about Chipotle on podcasts? Like, did you plan this, or like, is this like coincidence?
I've never had Chipotle, so that's not on me.
Really?
Never in my life.
Okay, I would love to see like a David Shylock fast food tier list, but like, because like when I do fast food tier lists, he's already thinking about when I do fast food tier lists. I don't, at least like some of the selections on like the tierlist.com, some of them are Midwest or East Coast, so obviously we don't get that in California. So like people are like, you've never been to Zaxby's? I'm like, I've never been to like the South. So like, what makes you think I'll get that like in California if it's only like a regional thing? So like, but I feel like David's, I would love to see that actually going for David.
Mine skews Southern, like heavily skews Southern because that's where I went to college. So like Cookout is not going to be high on most people's list, but as the guy who like when we played golf in college, we played 4 to 5 times a week, and we needed something to bet on. You're not just going out to play for nothing, so we bet $5 Cookout trays because that was the only thing that we could afford. And I don't give a shit how bad people say that it tastes. When you're not paying for it, that shit tastes like pure gold. Incredible.
I feel like when I had Cookout twice when I was in North Carolina, and I'll just say for the price and like the convenience of it, it was quite good. Like it reminded me of In-N-Out. I'm not talking food quality. I'm just talking like price and what you get.
Yeah,
like
no, that is a very fair comparison.
Yeah, and a lot of people are just like, "Oh, it's okay." I'm like, "Okay, but I'm not from here, so and I'm not going to like 4 to 5 tier restaurant, like very high end restaurants. Like, I just need something to get me through the next 5 hours."
The biggest benefit of Cookout is that you can add just this massive milkshake for $1. Like that is the biggest thing. And
you
there's
cannot
so
do
many,
that.
there's so many
Literally
different
cannot do
flavors
that
that
in
you have to
California.
try like all of them. Wait, Paul, do you even have Cookout down in or down where you're deployed?
Cookout?
No.
Never heard of it.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I
love In-N-Out though.
What,
huge
you like
In-N-Out fan.
Okay, so where would In-N-Out rank on your fast food tier list? Like, we'll quickly pivot to this. Give me your top
I don't know,
3.
but I am a apologist that In-N-Out beats Five Guys.
No,
I will agree with this for price. For price,
Yep.
I will agree for price only.
Sure.
If we're looking at food quality tier, like the Five Guys, I haven't had Five Guys in probably like 3 years, right? And from what I remember, the Five Guys patties is thicker than In-N-Out. So it's like a double at In-N-Out. It's so 2 patties is less, in my opinion, than like a Five Guys burger. But the price of In-N-Out, like
So
like it's too good. It's too good.
That's
the only reason why it's higher.
2 burgers and a milkshake and walk out of there for like $7. That's elite. And I feel so fat afterwards and happy. And that's what's good about it. But I go to In-N-Out or Five Guys, my bad, and I'm standing there and I'm like this. When he goes, "Here's how much you pay," I'm like, "Oh, okay. This is gonna be. If I skip this meal, I can buy this burger. So this will be a good meal. I buy it, I eat it, and the fries taste like a bag. And people say that's a feature. That's not a feature.
It's so good. What do you mean?
Not good. They're soggy and baggy.
Yes, they're supposed to be soggy. Soggy fries are better than crispy fries.
No, I get well done fries.
Yes.
Well done. Every time.
God, no. Ew, no. The softer and saltier, the better.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Although I will say,
I like fries.
There's a burger place like 5 minutes away from where we just moved to. That is like I forget the name of it, but like they have a big sign on their door. They're like one of the, I think they're like the #1 black or like African American owned restaurant in all of Jersey City. A $15 double Wagyu beef patty burger. Incredible. $15.
Wagyu.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. I've never.
I don't think I've had a Wagyu burger.
It's a higher quality of beef. It's a higher quality of beef. So like, if I were to compare it, it'd be like if Five Guys is 17, you would typically find that same burger but Wagyu for about 30.
Okay.
It's just like high, like in the same way that like Kobe beef is better than filet mignon. That's the quality difference that we're talking about. It's good. So what?
I bet it is good.
So what's your #1 fast food chain then?
Mine?
Everyone.
Like, I feel like the go-to, like, it never fails you. It's always there is McDonald's. Ronald's always around.
Look,
everywhere I've been in life, Ronald has been there.
Ronald is my best friend at 3 a.m. when I get out of the club and I need something to absorb the alcohol.
Exactly.
That is when Ronald like helps me out. But beyond that, absolutely not.
Yeah. No, agreed. McDonald's is when you're in a pinch or you're in the middle of nowhere. There's no in between. Like I haven't gone to McDonald's, so I haven't gone to McDonald's in years. I've only ever gone for like parfaits, like the cheap like McChicken sandwich with like the piece of lettuce and like the sliver of ranch, and then like maybe the Filet-O-Fish, and like or like breakfast sandwiches. Like that's it. I've gone for more breakfast sandwiches than like meals per se, or if I'm dead at like 2 a.m. and I need something to eat, like I'm not going. That is not my fast food of choice.
Well,
like,
they're only like my big one because they're in like every military area you go.
Okay.
Like if you're sent to the Boondocks base somewhere in the middle of nowhere, you're just like, you know what? They probably got a McDonald's around, and you just go around and you find a McDonald's, and that's what you live off of for like whatever days you're there, unless you actually make food. And you're a psycho, or you just eat Greek yogurt. That's another system.
The friends that I've met at 3 a.m. lines at McDonald's are better than the food.
That or Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A's got to be one of the most elite fast food experiences around.
Experiences, yes, but the Chick-fil-A sandwich clears the Popeyes chicken sandwich clears Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Depends on the mood. If I want crunchy or savory.
I am of the believer that like I prefer the Popeyes chicken sandwich only because like I think it's a little bit cheaper from what I remember.
Fair
and
enough.
Chick-fil-A is like not open on Sundays, which is like a huge knock to me. But at the same time, like I haven't had like I think Popeye sauces are not as good as Chick-fil-A sauces. So like that's my thing, because when people ask me in between, like between Popeyes or Chick-fil-A, I'll probably say Popeyes.
People in the people in the chat saying Raising Cane's. I don't know.
So I love Raising Cane's. That was gonna be my first choice. I'm really sad to where I moved in Los Angeles. Like there is not a Raising Cane's near me. It is a 15 to 20 minute endeavor, and that's out of the way. Versus like at my family home, there were 2 locations within 15 minutes. So it's like I really miss Raising Cane's. I've had it once in the last 3 months since I moved to LA. I'm really sad there's not one near me.
Raising Cane's is elite.
Nah, it's not.
There's one now.
It is elite. Anyone saying that Popeyes is better than Cane's, I'm gonna need y'all to check yourself. Like, I'll retweet my fast food tier list right now. Like, Cane's is better than Popeyes. I will say it.
I will not fight that, but I will say
not a Popeyes.
Sticky's clears both of them. But you guys have never had. It's a New York City and New Jersey specific chain that is just better. And everybody that I've taken there that has had Raising Cane's has admitted that it is better than Cane's. So it's just one of those, you have to try it when you're here, and that's it. But I can't really, like, that. I'm not going to argue when people are like, I don't know what that is, or they don't know about it. So it's fine. All right, so that was the longest intro I think we've ever done without formally introducing the podcast. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Crossover Podcast, the podcast where we will talk about freaking anything, apparently. But I'm David, my constant co-host Paul, and our special guest today, Numi. I don't know if you want to give yourself an introduction, because you do a lot of different things.
Yeah, sure. So my name's Numi, that's spelled Mumii. I currently am the FlyQuest community manager and LCS organization, and I also am a community manager for Travis Gafford. Those are my 2 main roles, and then outside of those roles, I'm kind of like customer service for Worlds ticketing, whenever I can find information. I also kind of do, like, I'm an LCS super fan. I also dabble here and there in K-pop stuff, that kind of jazz, but I think I'm mainly most well known for my community management roles, as well as major LCS superfan on Twitter.
I feel like dabbling in K-pop is kind of an understatement. I've seen your Twitter. That's a lie.
To be fair, I've had that Twitter account since 2012 to 2013, so I would say my K-pop fandom was 2019 to 2022, and then as I got into esports as a hobby, as a role, that kind of like I've like phased out a little bit. But in terms of in terms of news or content, like I try to keep up with it, because I think it's important outside of esports to maintain hobbies, and I feel like I don't have that many hobbies, so I'm trying to get back into like that portion of my hobby, because I do enjoy it from a fan perspective. And now that I'm understanding a little more about the business side of esports, looking at it from like a marketing or business perspective is quite interesting.
Paul, you got anything you want to add before I start deep diving?
I mean, I was a huge BTS fan, like, way back, but that was when they all of a sudden just started taking over the world. Like,
Same.
As I guess it wasn't all of a sudden, but I was a huge fan, and then they just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I was like, they're getting actually past what I think I can handle. And then they dropped that, I forget which album it was. It was the one with,
Boy with
her. No, it was one a little before that. It was like 2019-ish.
Or
2018, yeah,
Persona?
it might have been Tier. I think it was Tier. And that was probably the last album I really fully finished. And then my K-pop run kind of died because I started to move back towards like English-speaking music. But now...
Oh my god. I was saying, like, right now, like, oh no, you're first.
Sorry, I was just saying, like, I think now maybe it'll come back as Worlds. Who knows? But
maybe. So the whole reason why I wanted to bring Numi on is because we are having, in every aspect of my personal interest, crossovers left and right. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift fans are emerging. So we have Swifties learning about football. And on the League of Legends front, we have K-pop stans learning about League of Legends. I mean, they were more... K-pop fans tend to know more about League of Legends than Swifties did about football, but there's still a blending period to be had. And the recent announcement was that ATEEZ, or ATEEZ, how do I say it? Is it ATEEZ or ATEEZ?
It's ATEEZ. So a teaser, ATEEZ. I think that's the official pronunciation.
I'm not going to be able to say anything but 80s then, because I smush everything together.
It's ATEEZ, so you will hear the easy at the end. It's fine. I was listening to your video. I'm like, I don't want to comment on it because technically it's like that's not how I pronounce it, and I think the Korean pronunciation is ATEEZ, but it's okay.
I'm just gonna say that I'm from New York and they'll understand. It's fine. So, ATEEZ was rumored to be involved with this in some capacity. That is not the case. New Jeans are doing it. New Jeans being arguably the hottest K-pop group on TikTok out of any of them. I think I've seen more songs of theirs go viral in the last 6 months than I've seen anybody else. So now we have a possibility of a K-pop boy band that maybe ATEEZ is doing, and New Jeans doing the anthem. From the K-pop world, was this expected? Like, were there rumors of people knowing about this, kind of like last year with like Lil Nas X like having the song out there, or is this like brand new to everybody?
So I will say that my fandom mainly goes to boy groups. So my predominantly two groups are ATEEZ and Stray Kids. So I can't comment too much on New Jeans. I'd have to do a little more research. As like a 4th gen female girl group, so like when I refer to 4th gen, I'm referring to groups such as IVE, IVE, New Jeans, Kepler, KE1PER. Those are kind of the newer groups over the last year. And then the bigger groups, I think 3rd gen / early 4th gen, so like Blackpink, Twice, etc. I would say New Jeans, out of 4th gen, New Jeans is the most viral, I would say, in terms of like international popularity, like very quick, like internet, like outside of K-pop, they have exploded. I don't know if I'd expect them personally to do like an international video game song. I would kind of expect like Twice, for instance, or Blackpink. So I'm actually really excited that it's New Jeans, but in terms of like popularity, it makes sense. If you're thinking prestige per se, I would kind of tear towards like Blackpink or Twice personally. It does help. I don't know if you've done I don't know the exact management of this, but New Jeans is actually owned by HYBE, HIBE, who owns or previously owned whatever that relationship is with BTS. Like HYBE owns BTS, or in terms of that label. But I think from the New Jeans division, from the business division, it's like half and half. It's like another company name that I can't remember off the top of my head, and HYBE. So like in terms of HYBE advertising, like I could see them bagging this, right? Whether it be like from their under and stuff. But I'm really excited for New Jeans. I think it's a huge opportunity for them. I need to do my research if they play video games. Most idols like have dabbled in video games at some point, either for fun or like family. So I'm really excited for this. I think New Jeans is like an incredible group. One member is actually 15, which is quite young if you're debuting. And yeah, she's 15. Wow. I think this group is like 15 to 18. Don't quote me on this. There's actually one Vietnamese member in this group as well, which makes me very excited as a Vietnamese person. You have representation that's not just Korean ethnicity, rather. So I love this group. Everyone's heard their songs. They've gone viral multiple times. And I'm really excited to see what they'll do with the World's Anthem, because it's completely different from the teasers I've heard to what they've done before.
Okay, real quick question. Generations in K-pop. Are we talking similar to like the only comparison I can think of is like Disney Channel stars, where you had like Miley Cyrus, Demi Lovato, and Selena Gomez, and then you have like the next level of like a few years after Zendaya, everybody else. Okay. Yeah. Just wanted to make sure it's not like actual like 10-year generations. It's just like different eras within.
I don't think it's like a generation per se, because like the boys, for example, they debuted in 3rd generation, but their popularity is in a 4th generation, i.e. their popularity in the last 3 years have soared when they debuted maybe 5 or 6 years ago, right? So like that, the wording is a little muddy, but I would say that New Jeans is they debuted or came on the market, released an album, like however you want to call it, at the end 2022. So they're only a year and a half, like a year old group. So they're very new. They're 4th gen, basically. So,
Paul, you look like you were gonna say something.
No, no. I was just like, dude, I was shocked because you were saying like, oh, I've kind of gotten out of K-pop, and then you just went on this whole like historical run of K-pop, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, so when you were slowing down, you mean you were slowing down from like top of the line?
So like for me and like my this is just like hobby consumption, not even necessarily fandom consumption. I'm definitely much of a I go all in or nothing. So like Neon Genesis Evangelion is one of my favorite anime shows. That's a all in. I'm gonna learn about the lore, characters, history, whatever. But like I'm currently watching Succession, and it's taking me 3 months because I'm watching it with my boyfriend at the time right now. But also just like it's just if I'm not fully invested, like I won't go all in, right? So for me, like K-pop consumption for me is, am I actively watching their content, their music broadcasts, their interviews? Am I keeping up with like live streams? Am I keeping up with like they do like a paid service for messaging where they can message fans? Like, am I keeping up with the jokes there? So in terms of me keeping up with everyday like inside jokes or like that kind of stuff, I'm out of it. But in terms of what groups are doing, if they're traveling, music festivals, huge broadcast stuff, like I will watch. But I'm not like the everyday consumption, or at least in the knowledge enough to like hold a conversation. But like I've loved ATEEZ since 2019, so I am acutely aware of like what they do. Not as much as an everyday process, but like yeah, like you can talk to me about what they're traveling to. I know like a member was at a fashion show today, so like I can like keep up with that conversation.
Nick in chat, I don't know whether this is true or not, said that apparently Minji from New Jeans recently said in an interview there's this one character in this video game League of Legends called AD LeBlanc. It's super unbalanced and fun to play against. I'm hoping that Nick is memeing and that wasn't actually said.
Maybe she knows though.
I refuse.
Does she know the new meta of AD Blanc?
No, there's no way. Okay.
There's no way.
No, it's a copy pasta. It's a copy pasta.
Okay, I was about to say though, it could, if Nick like is saying that, I was like, wait, they actually like play this game like religiously. Bob Quinn strikes again.
Oh,
he's everywhere, even in K-pop.
Okay. The level of fandom of K-pop is a whole other world to what we're used to in the West. Like, from what you're saying, New Jeans isn't even, in terms of girl groups, like isn't even like top 5 legacy.
I wouldn't say so. Again, like my girl, for any K-pop watching this, my girl group knowledge is like extremely low. But I can converse. Like in my opinion, I don't think they're forming a legacy for sure. But I would not consider them like on the level of Twice and Blackpink, who of course have reached like international success, been around for 5+ years. Like it's a completely different level. But in terms of like legacy, top 5 groups, I personally would not put them on that level. At least not now. Maybe in like 4+ years.
But like to compare that to American music, there are only 3 artists in Western music that have that kind of fandom where you see people, you know, replying with like the fan cams and everything else. And that is literally Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Nicki Minaj. They're the only 3. That's it. There's no other fan base that does that. Like Olivia Rodrigo is one of the hottest artists in the world right now. She definitely does not have that. Like it's not at that level whatsoever. Like anytime you tweet K-pop, and like just go look at my tweets on Twitter that mention ATEEZ, K-pop, New Jeans, anything. Immediately 10 to 20 retweets. Right away. It's like, what the hell is going on here? Like that is a whole other level of social media engagement and interaction that we do not have in the West at all. Will that translate to a Western audience come World's Anthem time, or is it truly just like I hate to call it impression farming, but like to a Western audience that's not like ingrained in it, it pretty much is. More or less, because we're not going to follow with the culture. We're not going to follow with the inside jokes or anything else like that. Most people are just going to use it for the clickbait and the views.
I would say, like, in terms of K-pop fandom, so I will be generalizing. This is not specific to a group, a gender, or a individual. Or a personality, rather. I'm kind of generalizing this. I would say K-pop fandom, the idea of fandom is to bring up your artist, right? Is to bring them attention. Is to bring attention for people like us, I would say in esports, who don't know New Jeans, in general, who don't know New Jeans. Like, how do me as a K-pop person bring you, David Shynock, information about New Jeans that is relevant to yourself as a journalist or as a media person, right? And then you, as David, what information can you take from me as a K-pop person, and then bring that to a different space for like normal conversation about New Jeans, right? So I would say, like, in terms of league crossover between New Jeans and Worlds, I could see fandom being like, hey, like, this is a huge opportunity for New Jeans. They're a very new group. They're going to be performing in front of millions of people, viewers, and in real life, right? Like, how do I bring attention? How do I bring opportunity? How do I get their name out? How do I bring people who don't know New Jeans to know them? So in terms of like this specific iteration, I think I think it will be separated in the sense, like, I don't think New Jean fans will go over to League of Legends per se, at least not in like a huge capacity, but the crossover still exists, and I think there's a huge opportunity for like esports people to view how K-pop fandom works, especially now that they're viewing it in their space, but also K-pop fans as well to see video games and to see like how this area works, like how do we advertise New Jeans. Like, I could already see fandom. I haven't checked New Jeans like Twitter yet to see like what people are doing. I could already see people making fan cams of like, who are these members, what are their talking points, what can they talk about, who speaks English, who's the best dancer. Like, I know there's going to be streams, like there's going to be a Twitter broadcast, there's going to be streams, like everyone's going to be checking tags, like people are going to be like, oh, David Shynock talked about this, how do I educate him in 30 seconds? So I think the two spaces will still be separate. I don't think there'll be too much crossover or retention between the two. But in terms of the collaboration itself, I think it's fantastic. I love it. I've talked to like also esports like K-pop people about it. Like, I love it. Also, like, side note, which you'll probably talk about later, like my boyfriend's also into sports, so like watching the Taylor Swift like Travis stuff, like I am not into sports, but seeing Taylor Swift, I'm just like, can you explain like some of this stuff to me, because it's so like outside of my realm.
My entire Sunday night was consumed with watching the most uninteresting football game that has ever been played, just to wait to see Travis Kelce score a touchdown and then watch everybody go nuts. And the second I saw Taylor Swift giving a chest bump to the dude next to her, I was like, oh, we're done. And now,
so bad.
Now, get this. He's the highest selling jersey in NFL football right now.
I saw that.
It was just confirmed 3 hours ago that she is going to be at MetLife Stadium in New York for the Monday night game this upcoming week. Sunday night game.
Yeah,
it is going to be the most watched football game that is not a Super Bowl of all time. And I will place
football's so Joe over.
I love it. I love every minute of it. It's great because now, like, what's going to be great is that you're going to have all these Swifties bandwagon onto Kansas City because of Taylor Swift. And they're going to fall in love with the team. They're going to love Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid and his cheeseburgers, like everything. They're going to love it all. And then everybody's going to retire at once. And then all of a sudden, Kansas City's going to enter a rebuilding year. And they're going to be 2-15. And then you're going to see all of a sudden the toxic Swifties coming out. And it's just going to, I cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun. Watching them implode for the first time is going to be the highlight of my career.
My wife tried that TikTok trend on me, and it didn't work at all. Like, we were on the phone, and she said, "Isn't it great seeing Taylor Swift make Travis Kelce a relevant guy?" I'd never heard of him
on Instagram. I saw this on Instagram. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And she tried it on me, and I just looked at her and went, "Did you know Footballs has 70 of the top 100 most watched shows on television?" And she just looked at me and was like, "That doesn't matter." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Football's more relevant." I was like, "Football does this." I was like, and she just sat there. She was like, "You're so stupid." She was like, "You're so dumb." And I'm just sitting there going like, I was like, "Just remember, when all these Swifties leave, football will still be around. None of us are going over there. You don't see football guys going over to the Swiftie zone."
To be fair, a lot of people that play football, and like you saw it during Jett's off-season like training camp. They would ask them what their favorite Taylor Swift song is. Just because they're not a Swiftie does not mean they don't know all of the lyrics to half of those songs, because we're all drunkenly singing them at a bar at 2 a.m. So we know Taylor Swift. We're just not Swifties.
I was gonna say it's actually doomed though, because I made that comment and then I went to work the next day, and everybody was just talking about Taylor Swift, and they started like, I could just see the dudes who had been closet Taylor Swift fans coming out, and they were being like, oh, she's kind of mainstream now. They'd be like, yeah, have you heard this album before? It's actually pretty good music. And I was like, bro, you don't have to be ashamed.
Single on the Enchanted album. It's like, bro.
It's like, you don't have to be ashamed. I was like, you can openly say you enjoy her music before she dated a football player. I was like, it's America. You can do this.
So it's going to be the same with New Jeans, right? You're going to come on this podcast 2 months from now, Paul, and be like, hey, I just discovered this new song that's on like their like the third single off their first album like 5 years ago that you've been secretly singing in the shower all day. Then you'll change it real quick. Like, no, I was listening to Gods. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm excited. I know a lot of people will just use New Jeans as clickbait, and I get it, but it's just like, I'm excited for a crossover. Like, this is my ultimate crossover. Like, obviously New Jeans is the only public group right now. I don't know if there's anything else going on, but it's just like, I'm excited for this crossover regardless. I think it's a huge audience for New Jeans. I can't imagine being 15 and being on a stage like that. I don't remember exactly which stadium that finals is held in. I need to reference it, but a lot of those stadiums are used for like concerts as well. So
why am I blanking on the name? It's the largest indoor baseball arena in the world. Go check.
Okay. Yeah. I know with like some of the, I think it's not play-ins, but maybe it's groups. It's one of those stages, like the early stages, like that stadium, like ATEEZ have performed in it, like other K-pop groups have performed there. So it's like a very familiar, like, venue.
Now, K-pop fandom, I know it's obviously big online, but like, will this translate to the stadium? And by that, I mean, I'm not worried about it. Obviously, it's a good thing if we sell out, but I am worried about what could potentially happen to the crowd if ATEEZ is involved in some capacity, if New Jeans is there. Do people start buying out and scalping tickets for absurdly high prices just because they're going to be there, and potentially leave us with a crowd that knows nothing about League and doesn't care?
That's going to happen regardless. I think we saw that with Worlds 2022 as well. Obviously, that was a little different because it was terrible. It was terrible last year. Ticketing was terrible last year. But I think in terms of like K-pop fandom, fans are really good, at least for like concerts and stuff. Like, there's always going to be scalping, right? It doesn't matter the artist, or like a Western versus like Eastern artist, for example. But I don't think, from what I understand, that World's Finals sold out, from what I remember. I could see them opening a second round. They've already opened a second round of tickets. I think that sold out as well. But if there are any more, I could see K-pop fans be like, go support New Jeans. But I don't think from like the K-pop side, the scalping will be as aggressive as it's just normally is an international event, and they're scalpers, and it's just terrible.
I wasn't sure, like, because what you saw with like the Taylor Swift Eras tour was you saw a lot of Swifties giving in to the absurdly high resale values of like $1,000 to $2,000 a ticket. I was wondering, like, say for example we get 80% League fans, 20% K-pop fans on that like initial round of buying tickets, but then that 80% looks at it and is like, I could watch this online and pocket $2,000.
From my understanding, I don't think that will happen, but I'm not well versed in like New Jeans fandom to say that, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
Okay.
So
that's good.
That makes me happy. That was the only thing that I was a little worried
about. I know. I think this event is very highly I feel so bad for anyone trying to message me like to get help for me to help them get to Worlds because like I don't speak Hangul, I'm not Korean, and I'm not going to Korea. I've never been to Korea, so I cannot tell you like anything about like resale market. Like I don't speak the language. I can't read it. Like I'm so sorry. I have like 2 other people that can help you out, or you have to look at like media personalities that are going, right? It's just like I'm so sorry, but I don't think that will be the case. From at least from what I've seen of like world's ticketing and stuff, it's just the typical demand of international event must sell out venue or can scalp, will scalp kind of vibe. It won't be specific to an artist, in my opinion.
Had FlyQuest won, would you have gone? Or not won, but had they made it, would you have gone?
I would pay my own money to go to Korea. Now that I know that there's New Jeans there, I will actually pay on my own to go there. But just like with like esports orgs, right? Like they have their own priorities of like who to send and stuff. So I don't want to comment on that. But I will say like
no, I didn't. I meant for you like regardless of whether they would send you or not, would you pay your own time?
I'll go. Like, I'll pay my own money. Like, I'll go. Like, the company doesn't have to pay money. I'll go by myself. And I've considered this too. I was talking to my friends. I'm like, should I go to Korea? And I thought about it longer just for like my own personal, financial, and like business side. I'm just like, I don't have the money to drop. I'm just gonna spitball like $3,000, right? I don't know if that's right. I'm just gonna spit that out. I don't have $3,000 right now, realistically, to book a flight and accommodation, and I don't speak the language to go to Korea for a month. And now that I am like working for an esports org as well, I don't think they would appreciate me having a 16-hour time difference for work. But I considered it. Like if ATEEZ go, like I'll consider it, but realistically, like I should not. Now, if Worlds is in Europe next year, which I don't know if it's China first, then Europe, I'll go to Europe. Like I've considered Europe. But like Korea is like.
They haven't announced it yet, and I think that's very intentional. I think we're going to China, personally. Even though...
So, is the rotation Korea, China, Europe?
No,
is there a specific rotation?
It should be Korea, Europe, then China. But there's extenuating factors there. Or whatever the word is. You have the 15-year anniversary, and you have Arcane Season 2. Like, the thing that I'm going to prep people more on this, like, as we get closer, like, to the World's Finals opening ceremony and everything there, like be prepared for this to be like the last one that is focused on esports for at least a year, because next year, barring the anthem actually being sung at the end, it is going to be entirely Arcane. Like that was the original plan in 2019 or 2020 that fell through due to COVID, or sorry, 2021, I think that fell, or was it? Yeah, 2021, because 2020 was the KDA comeback. 2021 was the one where they did Welcome to the Playground. Imagine Dragons did like the pre-recorded version of Enemy, and then they went into Burn It All Down. They originally planned to build Piltover on stage, and we were literally going to be playing from Piltover. So if you think that they're not doing that times 20, now that this is all marketing for the game, or for the show that will be coming out around that same time, you're out of your mind. So next year is going to be little to nothing to do with esports. And as long as everybody's fine with that and understands it and embraces what we're getting this year, then we're going to have a good time. I just don't want to see Monte Cristo come out next year. Why are we advertising this at Worlds? It's not esports. Let esports be its own product. It's like, bro, this is the biggest stage in the world for esports, and they're going to push Arcane. Yeah, sorry about your luck.
It's in Tencent's backyard. Like, they're business moguls, or at least they bought up every good game in the world, like Clash of Clans and League. So they're gonna just be master marketers, and they're probably gonna have their show marketing really good. Ooh, that was a tough fight. Korea's gonna win game 2.
Oh, so Korea officially won it.
Games?
No, it's a best of 5.
No, it's a best of 3.
Or best of 3s?
It's a best of 3.
Oh no, Molecule just tweeted Faker not going to military service.
Yeah, so it's a best of 3.
I don't know if this is a joke or not. But
no, that's 100% serious. It's a best of 3.
Yeah, no, they really they get exempt military status if they get gold in Korea.
Yeah, Emily Rand just tweeted they advanced.
Oh Jesus Christ!
16 minutes ago.
Yeah, they're gonna play Vietnam, and they're gonna kill Vietnam.
Okay, so Faker and everybody. But that also, you know what that means as well. Kanavi gets to continue his run to be the best jungler in the world of all time.
Yeah.
After this is all done. because JDG is stopping Worlds. Nobody is stopping them.
Unless Vietnam pulls off like a crazy upset.
They're not. Korea's going to beat them so bad that Mad Lions is going to be wondering how this team loses in 15 minutes.
I mean, more than likely. Korea's playing pretty great League of Legends.
Levi stands no chance at all. Korea is going to clear them so hard.
Who's playing ADC for Korea?
I would assume.
Is it Ruler? I would assume Ruler, right?
Probably Ruler. So
Ruler's exempt too?
Yeah, Ruler's exempt from military service.
Well, better prepare yourselves, everyone. JDG is going to be the first 8-time double Grand Slam champions.
It's Ruler. I just checked Leaguepedia. It's Ruler.
Yeah, they purposefully threw this to make sure that they could win Worlds 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
Like every JDG play, Knight is running it down to ensure that they can get back.
Knight's like, bro, I will take one for the team. Medal. This does not matter.
Yeah. Gold medal, 2 Worlds trophies. No, I'll take the 2 Worlds trophies. See you later, losers.
Oh God. Jimmy, I don't want to trap you on here much longer than you have.
I know that was way
I'm
off
good,
topic.
I'm good. No, you're totally good.
I have it in a tiny plate.
I have time, so.
I want to turn the floor to you before we go on like our business and sports tangents after this. Is there anything you want to talk about? Anything that's on your mind that?
I don't want to talk. Obviously officially New Jeans is the official group out. There's a rumor that ATEEZ will be a part of it. Obviously, I don't know, right? Like, me personally, I would love to see ATEEZ on like doing something with Worlds. And like my 18 will come out. I'm so sorry for anyone listening or watching this. But like KQ Entertainment is the group that owns ATEEZ. I don't know like who does advertise it, marketing, like that kind of stuff. Whoever bagged this for ATEEZ is so good. Like I have not seen ATEEZ. Like ATEEZ actually just announced a collaboration with Just Dance. One of their songs will be in Just Dance 2024. Like I don't know who's doing their international stuff, marketing, advertising, sponsorships. Like it is fantastic. Like I think for ATEEZ to have a RIot song, if RIot performance song, whatever, if it's confirmed, it's so great for like their resume, like having under their belt. Like they are obviously they're a K-pop group, so like this is their hometown. Like I don't know if they've been on the stage. Like all members are very talented. They produce their own music. They have great personalities. Some of them actually actively play the season as they were promoting as a group. As of last year, like out of 8 members, 4 or 5 of them play League and Valorant together. Like my favorite person, which is Yosang, who's a singer, like he has mained like his favorite character is Yone. He talks about Timo. He's been a mid laner for years. Like he's been playing for ages. They've reached diamond they've reached like high diamond tier at some point, which I think is impressive. If you're like a K-pop idol, like I think that's impressive, especially on like the Korean ladder. Like they know their video games. They were at RIot like in the middle of August for KCON, but also like stopping by doing HQ. Like I'm going to be so sad if it's not ATEEZ in some way, but like if it is, congrats to their marketing team, whoever bagged that. Like I want to see my boys on stage, right? Like, and I think in terms of 4th gen boy group popularity, I would consider like ATEEZ, Stray Kids, The Boys, and maybe one more group in terms of popularity. Like they are the most likely candidates like to do an international song, right? To do something with RIot. The Boys actually did a song for T1 last year. It's like their world song. Yes, I don't know if you know about this. Like it was kind of quiet. Like The Boys, BOYZ, did a song with T1 last year. Like they did a music video, like they took pictures with Faker, like they got signed stuff. Like I'll link it in the Discord chat, like as you're talking about something else. Like this was a thing. Like it's there. Like the opportunity is there. But ATEEZ are my favorite group and Stray Kids, but I want to see them on the big stage. I want to see other people see them on the big stage. I will be insufferable if they announce something like, and it makes sense for them to announce a collaboration, like a song with RIot, and then they're going to tour. Like in August when they came, they had a bunch of promotional posters in the hotels that people were staying at for KCON. So not even like in the convention center, but in the hotels like near that area, saying they were teasing like a tour. So I think ATEEZ are going to tour at the end of December, starting like first quarter of 2024. So for me, it makes sense as a K-poppy to be like, okay, international song with RIot, promote them there, go to a Worlds tour, and then just go back out. So.
Okay, here's my question. Granted, the league player base, or at least the makeup of it, shifts more male than female. But which skin line sells better? KDA, or if the leaks, according to Nick and Chad, he said there was a skinless leak that came out a while ago for a skin line called One Shot, the number 1 and then Shot, which had a bunch of champs that fit the K-pop boy band style, aka probably Aphelios and a few others. Which skin line ends up selling more units? KDA or One Shot? If it is true that ATEEZ is involved, if any other like K-pop stars get involved with this, because RIot typically blends groups. They don't typically just put 1-to-1 in.
You know. Whichever one has Ari in it. Or if there's a super chatty Viego skin that goes super hard, they might win if One Shot has Viego.
Viego, Aphelios would be 2. I'm trying to think who else.
It'd have to be like some of the newer, not like, obviously they're not new, but new to people who've been playing the game forever.
Yeah.
Champs.
I would say One Shot. I don't know if that's a huge, like, at least, like, let's just say ATEEZ, right? And, like, the other, whatever this boy band, whatever, I don't know who the artists are there. Like, I could see fandom people being like, you need to buy, you help ATEEZ and help these people, like buy this skin. But in terms of, like, in the long run, I would say One Shot. Or whatever that new skin line is. I would say it's that one. I can't, it's pop, like, I
need Popstar Caracas.
Well, you said Yone, or Yone, right? He mains, one of the singers mains him.
Oh,
yes. One of the singers mains
smack
Yone.
With a good skin. Him, Viego, like, or Kane, because I'm biased.
Yone, Kaisa, his Ash. I saw Ash, but this was like 2 years ago, so the meta was changed.
Has RIot ever done genderbender skins? I don't think they have.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Because I know like Smite did, but I'm not sure if League has. So like you are handicapping yourself to a certain extent by not being able to access Kaisa or Ari. You have Ezreal, which I'm assuming he'll get in there. You do have Yasuo or Yone. I don't think it'll be Yasuo given true damage at him. I feel like this would be one where you give it to Yone. But you are like you're not hitting the big two. You don't have Lux, and you don't have Ari, and you don't have Kaisa. Those are like
but that's good. They're oversaturated.
I agree that's not what my point isn't that they need more skins. It's that in terms of a selling war, if you're pinning the two lines against each other, One Shot, despite having arguably better market appeal in terms of everything but the champions that it's going to be assigned, will struggle with the fact that you are limiting yourself because of the champions that are available to it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just want a Viego prestige skin that I can buy that I think is super cool.
I just want to see the ATEEZ members' reaction when one of the champions they play has like a skin of something they participated in. I honestly think they would lose their shit. Like, I honestly think they would lose it. Like, it's not even the fact that it's like they don't need like a ATEEZ skin, right? Like, that's not happening. But like the fact that like they've been playing this game for so long, like as they've continued in their idol career, they still play this game. Like, to have something related, like they would lose it. Like, I could see them losing it, and I'm very excited.
Fans buy it.
The fans would buy it. The fans.
They would, even if they don't play the game, they just go buy it.
I don't know if they don't play the game, but those who play, like, I'm gonna buy it, right? Like, I'm gonna buy it. Like, I don't know if those who don't play the game will buy it.
But everyone who does will buy it, and there's huge crossover.
People will know they know what League is. Like, the ATEEZ, this fandom knows what League of Legends and Valorant is. Like, it's not what they play, but like they know it, right? So that's enough. That is my, when I update my like esports K-pop thread crossover, like that is what I will be doing.
I wonder if it will cross over into Valorant at all. Because we know it's probably going to cross over into TFT.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen Necrit's videos on it, but basically, like, they're teasing a music event at the same time that Worlds comes out.
I don't think I saw that one, but I wouldn't be surprised if TFT is like involved, right?
Yeah.
So
like that's an easy crossover. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I figured they're probably gonna do that, and TFT already has some links to music anyways with like the Lunar Beats line and everything else. So like that makes sense. If they could get it to cross over to Valorant as well, oh man, would they make money? Oh my god. Riot would literally be pissing themselves to sleep every night, just thinking, damn, we pulled this shit off. Those bonus checks are going to be fatter than anything you've ever seen in your life. Besides Arcane. When Arcane Season 2 comes out, then, like, I don't even want to know. Different. I don't want to know the parties that are going to happen as a result of that finally getting launched.
It'd be pretty sick.
When am I going to get Arcane? I literally, like, Arcane. I'm, like, one of the fans that, like, who got more into League because of Arcane. Like, I was playing League as Arcane was airing, so I knew Jinx, right? Like, Jinx and Ahri are very, like, outside of League of Legends, like, those are very prominent, like, recognizable characters. So just like, oh, like, Jinx is, like, in this game. Like, I don't know anything about the lore. Like, I wanted to watch it. It's like, I'm one of those fans that, like, got into it more or understood it more because of Arcane. So, like, Arcane Season 2 one. When am I going to get Season 2?
I just want to start exploring more. As excited as I am for Arcane Season 2, like, I want to get to Demacia. I want to get to Noxus. I want to get, like, Demacia has, like, this Game of Thrones style that they can 100% go with that you just got to do it. You got to. Like, there are so many elements to be played into with the, like, the racism against magic and everything else that exists there. Like, oh, there's so much potential. So much. But Noxus is definitely next because of Mel's mom being... Noxian. Like that's 100% where we're going next, but like I don't know.
Season 2 is gonna be so tough on me again though, because I'm a Vi main most of the time. Like I always end up coping with Vi, and every time last Arcane was really rough because I was like, I love this champ, I love this show because it features one of my favorite champs, but everyone's playing her and she's picked ban, and I can't get my hands on her because she's getting banned every game because she's broken because they overtuned her for a TV show. So, like, I literally had to go back and just stop playing her. I was like, I'll just find another champ, I guess. It's going to happen again. But it's also good because they overtune them like a month ahead of the show, and so nobody knows it yet, so you can spend a month playing a busted champ. So,
dang.
That's really what I'm looking forward to with Arcane Season 2. Everyone has their thing. Mine is the Caitlyn Vi scene that's probably coming with it. Let's pray.
Jesus Christ.
And then you gotta hope for something. Sorry. And then also the climbing.
I just like seeing the Poro. Like, Heimerdinger has like that Poro that follows him around. Like, he's so cute. I love him. I want to see him more.
I'm waiting to see what other cute and adorable. Oh yeah, Victor's evolution is gonna be great.
Yeah,
Victor's like ending was pretty crazy. Him just, well, I guess I won't spoil, but if you haven't seen it, it's on you. Like, someone dies. Victor's sad. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Victor's evolution is gonna be good. I don't think Warwick's introduction is gonna be like as hype as people are making it out to be. Like, it's going to be cool and fun, and maybe it'll be, like, an emotional moment, but I'm not 100% sure how they pull that off. I don't know.
I don't know. I just, Season 2 one. I want to go to, like, pop-ups. I want to see advertisements in LA. Like, I want to, like, see the little Poro I could get at TFT. Like, oh, you can get the Heimerdinger Poro just like him. Like, like, just feed it to me. Like, I'm already ready. Just feed it to me.
Yeah, that and the Jace gun too. Like, I don't know. There's just so much about that show that's pretty elite, especially with how they introduced like Noxus and all that. It's gonna be a lot to take in.
This is like not K-pop related at all. I'm so sorry for watching this for K-pop stuff. I just want to say talk about ATEEZ.
I'll have everything timestamped in the description. Like they'll be fine.
You're fine.
And the whole nature of this podcast is we talk about literally anything. We go on the most random tangents in the world. So don't feel bad.
We can't talk about Worlds.
Let me see my favorite group. let me see one of my favorites of all time on the stage. I don't care what they're performing. I just want them there. I just want them to lose their minds. Like, they love League of Legends. They play Valorant. I think they play TFT. I know Stray Kids plays TFT because the leader has talked about it. And he's lost his RIot account. I don't know if he got that back yet. So this happened like a year ago. Like, he couldn't access his RIot account. So a lot of fans were like, RIot, please help him out. And then the Golden Guardian social media team, like, their social person was just like, yeah. So I was just like, I think Bangchan has his account back, but like that's a thing there too. So I just want to see ATEEZ on the main stage. I just want to see, like, they do, like, people have done like Arcane, like, ATEEZ edits too. Like, I think there's two that float around on the internet. Yeah, there's one more I think that I can't find, but there's two that float around on the internet. So from a marketing standpoint, it's fantastic. From a fan standpoint, it's fantastic. This is my ultimate crossover. No one can tell me otherwise. And when the tour happens, if and when ATEEZ tours, I can totally see them being like, we did a world song. Watch, I can see them performing that on tour. If ATEEZ do a song with RIot and they perform it on tour, I will be insufferable. Porter Robinson performed his own edit of Everything Goes On when he was in LA, and I was insufferable. Like, I was losing my shit, like, in the venue. I have it recorded. I saw, like, the visuals of, like Kaisa and, like, Seraphi. I was just, like, sobbing, like, in the venue. And everyone's, like, looking at me. I'm like, you don't understand that this is a League song. You just know it's a Porter Robinson song. Like, you don't get it. You don't get it.
That's what
we're all gonna be.
That's whenever people try to hype up Warriors for Imagine Dragons, they get all emotional about it. It's like, it's a shitty Imagine Dragons song, but okay,
it isn't though.
It is.
You are an insane person. His top 10 has Warriors as 6th for League of Legends World Songs.
It is.
It is. And he has Star Walking at 5.
Facts.
How dare you? Okay, hold on. How dare you put Star Walking above?
Go back and rewatch. Go back and rewatch the Warriors music video. It's overrated.
Goodness.
It was great for the time. It was great for the time, sure, but there's so much dead space of literally just light flowing through a canyon.
What are you doing? Having these takes, it's insane. He said the vibe of Warriors. What'd you call it? What was the number?
Yeah, so I don't know. The vibe of Warriors I have was lower than Star Walking. Star Walking's a fucking vibe, bro.
Yeah, he said it's like a 10, and I was like,
Star Walking I put on, and I start thinking about fucking college football too.
Nobody else does that. You're alone.
I don't care. It's my ranking.
This is your Sisyphus moment. This is your stone up the hill. Like, the Star Walking is your stone. Every day you wake up and go, how can I push to people that Star Walking was a good League of Legends song? And you just start rolling.
Song.
Thank you.
I just put
League of Legends
Warriors.
Song. Yeah. And Warriors is a better song.
Star Walking is higher in Lil Nas X's limited catalog than Warriors is in Imagine Dragons.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Imagine Dragons is just way more successful than him.
No, I'm saying, like, if this is in the top 10% of Lil Nas X tracks, this, like, assuming that same percentage, Warriors is not even in the top 40%.
What are you talking about?
Because it's not. It's nowhere close.
Warriors is such a good Imagine Dragons song.
No, it's not.
It has him yelling. It has a strong instrumental.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize yelling is the only criteria to make a song fucking good.
His yelling is fantastic. If they did some screamo in there, like if they mixed it in, I would probably be rock hard listening to Imagine Dragons every day. But because they don't do screamo, I have to live with yelling, so I temper my expectations, much like you don't with this song, obviously. You keep them up sky high, and this song smacked. It makes you want to fight. It makes you want to play League.
No, Burn It All Down makes me want to play League. Burn It All Down and Legends Never Die, like, the second I hear them, I'm instantly thinking about queuing up. No matter where I'm at or what I'm doing.
Legends Never Die is very good. Legends Never Die is very good.
It's very good, but the fact that he puts Star Walking above, I just can't.
Okay,
I can't.
No, I love this point in chat. Star Walking is better at, like, has better clips and, like, better moments that you can share and better peaks than Warriors ever does.
That's not what he's saying. He's saying it's better as a clipped up song because it's garbage as a full song.
No, I disagree with that.
That's totally what
I think. The peaks of Star Walking are better than the peaks of Warriors by a wide margin, but I will agree that some of the low points of Star Walkin' are lower than Warriors.
I've never once in my life gone, man, this song is great, but it'd be better if we could just cut it up and I could eat it in 30-second bits and pieces.
You've never been on TikTok then?
Like, you've never been on like
you've never been on social media.
I know that's how TikTok
I can consume
functions.
it in like 10 seconds.
But you like a good song is a good song.
Agreed.
You don't just sit there and go like I get some people do this. I have buddies who do. Well, they'll listen to a full song even though they only like 5 seconds of it, which is whatever. But like it's just with metal. I have a lot of it's just workout culture. Like they all love to sit there and they just want this 1 second of screaming that sets them off.
Or like the nasty freestyle from T-Dog back in the Vine days. Like you stay for the first let me hop out the motherfucking Porsche and then you immediately skip the song.
Yeah, which is just you don't do that with Imagine Dragons, okay? In general.
Yeah, you can.
I'm going to say in general.
Yeah, you can.
You don't do that.
Yeah, you can. There are quite a few Imagine Dragons songs that are over Thunder. How that's in the top stream songs, and it's just whatever.
Bro,
what the fuck is that voice in the background?
Have you ever heard of Kanye West? It's called Art. Like that's what that.
Do you
voice
really
is
want me to go? Do you really want me to go in on
Kanye?
I was about to say.
Not standing with him. I know he's not. In the words of Kesha, he's probably closer to a certain person than Nemesis. But I will say. I don't know if you all saw that on Twitter or that joke will miss, but
that's a 14-day ban from the podcast for you.
Yeah, I will be banned, but I'm saying like those kind of beats are great. Those little samples in the background, those little high-pitched tune-ups.
But will gods do the same thing? You know, like will gods have the same impact?
I'm nervous.
Well, I'm sure Dave will rate gods higher than Warriors.
No,
because Dave just hates Warriors. It could be worse in every way. And you'd go, well, God beats.
Okay,
Warriors.
Well, first and foremost, like, there's no way that it finishes under purely because of the music video. Because I take the music video into account with this, and the music video following Death's story will automatically be like top 2. It is almost impossible for them to fuck up this music video.
And the tease was pretty electric.
It was. Now, the only thing that you have to worry about is that I'm not sure how New Jeans' voice are going to sound on a harder song.
I don't know either, but I've also... So with K-pop, right? Like, it's just... They either have an in-house production team or, you know, they buy a song, right? So, like, EDM artists, like, will sell their songs to K-pop, and they've stated this, or, like, just regular pop producers that have done, like, Ariana Grande, like, level songs will sell their songs to K-pop, right? So whenever I hear the production without any vocals, I can never see a K-pop artist singing over it. Like, I struggle with that sometimes. But when I hear, like, the vocals themselves together, I'm like, okay, like, I can see it. So, like, I know on TikTok, if I find this TikTok artist, if I find this artist that's talked about it, I will send it to you. There was a producer that did, like, a really popular girl group, and she, like, broke down, like, oh, this section's for this person, or it's meant for this, like, or, like, I made this song for this. So it's like, if I find that, I'll send it to you after. I can't. So first listen, I literally think of, like, oh my god, this is a great League of Legends song, right? But then I thought about it again, I'm like, I can't see New Jeans, right? But it could just be, like, movie trailers, right? The production company, like, or the director doesn't cut the trailer. Like, it is the production company, right? So I could see this being, like, it's the producer, like, hyping up the song, and not, like, this is, like, for the teaser itself. Like, and this is not, like, fully indicative of the whole song. Like, this is just a 14-second, like, bridge that, like, goes, like, this has no vocals, for instance. Like, I could see them doing that, too.
That was me whenever the Chainsmokers released Call You Mine with Bebe Rexha. They used the outro drop as the marketing and clickbait for it, so that whenever you went in and listened to the song, you realized about a minute in, it's like, oh, we're building up to a moment that I've already heard, which is a very, like, RIot hasn't done that historically, so I'm not worried about that. But there's always that risk of, like, what you market has to live up to the potential, and this is getting a lot of hype from people just because of that little clip sounding like old League songs.
Yeah. I know for K-pop, at least for ATEEZ, what they'll do is like a teaser with lore. So like the teaser itself, let's just say it's a 1.5-minute teaser introducing their new era. The song itself may sound nothing like the actual 14-second teaser they released 2 weeks later. But this is like the first video with lore and maybe like a small 2-second snippet at the end. And then the 14-second teaser for the song itself can either be like the bridge, which has no vocals, or it could be like a very like in the chorus, like there's a consistent beat or like melody. They'll take that as the teaser. Because I've had instances in K-pop, and we've seen this in like American music or Western artists too. Like the teaser they have like has nothing to do or does not feel like the actual song. Like sometimes that happens. So my interpretation of the 14-second teaser that was tweeted yesterday is either the bridge with no vocals or specifically made to hype up League of Legends, and then like it's maybe like the harder sounding portion of the song when like maybe New Jeans performing like the chorus or like the back, like whatever that interpretation is.
The only thing I will say is that one of the RIot Games music employees tweeted out, and I have it bookmarked, I'll double check the wording on this later, but they basically said, I never thought we would make a song that topped Rise, but here we are. You can't make that claim without knowing the context in which it's going to be taken, which is people are then going to expect something hard like that continuously throughout the song. Doesn't have to be every minute, but like that to me signals that we're getting something harder for a drop. Like that could be like the bridge into the chorus, and then the chorus like really opens up even further.
Yeah. It would be, because I know people know New Jeans for like the light pop-ish sounding like TikTok-y music. It's not meant for TikTok, but it's marketable for TikTok.
It's good bubblegum TikTok pop.
I'll say it like that. Like it would be a huge challenge. It would be a challenge for them, like music wise. But like I've seen groups completely rebrand themselves. Like Twice, for example, was known for their bubblegum pop, and then in the last 2 to 3 years, they have turned into a more mature sounding group. Not even talking about like lyrics, but just the production itself. Like the JYP Entertainment, who owns Twice, has said that like JYP, the CEO, wanted to make them a more mature sounding group, so he helped make songs to help them mature, right? And now their songs, I would say, are more adult than when they debuted on the market like ages ago. So like for New Jeans, I could totally see, obviously this is a RIot production. This is not New Jeans companies giving their song to RIot. This is a RIot production themselves. Like I could see them like hearing the voices and the girls challenging themselves to fit in with this vibe. Like it will be I think it will be a different thing regardless, because people know New Jeans for this like cutesy music, but I think it's possible. Like it's there.
Here's my female group song that is like my expectation of like level of where this needs to surpass to be hype. Kill This Love. That's my threshold. That was hard. And I don't know if New Jeans has a rapper to like go on and do what Lisa did.
Oh, Lisa is a very exceptional rapper.
Exactly.
She's a very exceptional rapper.
But like even excluding her rap part, like the drop, while simplistic, is hard. That's my threshold. Like if you're gonna do a world's anthem, it has to surpass that. Which I don't. Paul, have you ever heard "Kill This Love"?
No. Who's it by?
Blackpink.
I've probably heard it because they were being pushed around for a while. But
yeah, this was right during the era where you were into K-pop as well. Maybe just towards the end of it, but
yeah, it might have been the end.
I don't know. All right, I've prisoned you here long enough. Thank you so much, Nui, for coming on. I really do appreciate it. I hope we didn't didn't take it too
I'm
far
good.
off
I have
topic.
time. No, I'm good. I'm actually gonna listen to like the Taylor Swift portion of this, because I've been sending like my partner memes about Taylor Swift, and he's been sending like the sports portion of it. So both of us, like he's like a Swiftie too, so both of us have been like collectively like watching this, and I've seen him go like, I hate this, to like as he's warmed up, he's like, I think this is fine. I'm like, no, you literally said you hated this like 1 week ago. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean?
The only message that I would ask you to pass to him, and I told this to his face at finals as well. We need to play a round of golf, because I'm going to stake my claim that I'm not losing in a round of golf to anybody in LoL esports.
would say he's pretty good, and I know the esports person he plays with is quite good. Like the best of the best. From what I hear. So
I feel like I can say this. Jatt is apparently the best golfer in.
So I've heard that as well. Yes.
He's a 2 handicap. When I play consistently, I index between a 2 and a 3. So
okay.
I personally think that I could take Jatt. And I know I can take him as well.
That's a big claim. That's a big claim. I know the people who have played with Jatt, either one-offs or consistently, say that Jatt is very, very good. Even on his own off days, like he is very good.
He's good, but I've seen a swing. It's not. He got work to do.
Jeez, I didn't know this was a golf shit talking program.
One of us has our name on our bag and the PGA logo to go with it. The others do not. I'm licensed to criticize his swing.
Goodness.
He could pay me $60 an hour to fix it if he wants.
Well, I'll be your caddy.
That's fine. I need a good caddy.
Well, you play Jatt.
You just need to do me a favor. If there's one thing that I expect of my caddies, it is to blindly hype me up and shit talk just as hard as I do. Because when I get competitive in sports, like League, I'm on the more quiet side because I'm ADC, I'm passenger princess to what everybody else is doing in the game. When it comes to golf, I am fucking with you and getting in your head. That is part of the game.
Jeez.
Like, golf is 90% mental. We all have the baseline skill. If I can sit here and I can outsmart you on the course and then get you in your head and get you to make a dumb decision because you're too pissed off, I can win. So yeah, I want you on my caddy.
LA. Come to LA.
They can come to me. We got better courses. I don't even want to hear anything about.
I've never been to Disneyland. How close is LA to Anaheim?
To LA.
Not too far.
It'll be fun.
It is close to Disneyland.
Yeah, we could take a trip to Disneyland. That's fine.
Oh, LA? I would say like LA and Disney. So I'm from Orange County. Like I can safely say that and not dox myself. Like it's an hour and a half from LA to Disneyland. Like it's reasonable. It can be done. Okay. So.
I forgot you're an LA person, so an hour and a half.
I have become an LA person that complains about gas prices, that complains about food here, that complains about parking, like that's like, oh my gosh, you should go out and then realize dinner is $25. Like I have become the person that I piss. Like I am trying. I know. Okay, so I talked to David about like me moving, right? Like before I moved and then like after the move, and like. I am actively trying not to be that person that DoorDashes meals all the time. I'm very cheap when it comes to groceries. I'm trying to not go out like often because it's so expensive here. Like my gas was $6.29 at Chevron for the middle grade gas on Friday. It is now $6.49. It's in the span of 5 days.
You just caused Paul a heart attack.
I hate it here. I've seen 7. In some areas of Hollywood. Like, bro. I am trying not to become an LA person since I moved here, but like, there's a certain culture that comes with LA that I understand the appeal. I'm just trying to be very cheap.
It's like $3.20 in Texas and Indiana.
Oh no, it's like it's $6.49 here. Like it's $6.29 here.
That's just so much for gasoline.
All I'm saying is that LA people, not all of them. Because I've met quite a few people in esports that are like from LA that can make both work, but the majority of people that enjoy life in LA would get spit up and chewed out by New York City in a matter of 6 months. They could not fucking handle it. Nobody wants to hear the level of bitching that LA people fucking do about life over there. Oh, not saying you in this example, but there are other things that I've seen people like publicly bitch about in LA. It's like. Somebody says that here in New York, I'm just looking at them being like, bro, shut the fuck up and deal with it.
I mean,
like you're either gonna pay it or you're not. You're either gonna go out or you're not. It's not my problem. You coming out or what? Like, let's go. Come on.
Yeah, like definitely there is an LA culture. Like for me specifically, like I've lived here for 3 months. Like I'm gonna hit 4 months very soon. Like I'm definitely like, yeah, I don't need to go to all these concerts because I just not necessary. I don't need to go out all these times, or we can choose a cheaper restaurant because it's not necessary, right? Like I don't need to spend $18 for a movie ticket. I pay $17 for Max. That's not necessary. Like I'm very much like when I go out with my friends, I'm very much what's your price point? What's your allergy? What's the parking? Because I'm not paying $20 to $30 for dinner. Like I don't make money like that. I'm just gonna be straight up front like that. Like I can't afford that. So that's my LA experience.
My biggest selling point is that I know 2 different bouncers at 2 different clubs that we can go out and have a good time, and you don't have to worry about a thing. Pre-game before you go, and then we're gonna have a good time in New York City.
Well, I did not have time to go to New York when I was in New Jersey. I was working all the time. I regret that. I should have gone at least like 5 hours. I should have gone to New York, but it was fine.
Did you see the video that got posted of me, Joshi, and I forget who else was there, but basically we had like a line of 5 guys that were all grinding in the middle of the fucking club together. It was great. It was such a good time.
I don't think I saw that one. I don't think I saw that one.
It was people were like, "What in the white bread is going on here?" It was hilarious, but it was such a good time. It was so much fun. And apparently, so what happened was, and I nearly got in trouble with the friend of mine that is there. We're supposed to, if we get there before 11, we get in for free, no problem. If it's myself and a decent guy to girl ratio group after that, we're fine to get in. We took 14 people, majority guys, and I basically was able to somehow like play between 2 different bouncers of them like knowing that we're with one person but not knowing that we're with a group, and then like trying to like swindle it in. We got all but like 3 people in.
That's pretty good.
Which I will take heavy pride in, and then it was just a fun night throughout. But yeah.
Oh, well, I love talking about like K-pop and stuff like that. That's one of my hobbies, right? Feel free to bring me on whenever. I'm gonna go make a dinner now because it's 8 o'clock in California. I'm gonna not go out tonight, and I'm going to cook a meal because it's important.
It's a Wednesday. You're fine, but tomorrow night, no excuse. You should be going out.
I'm going to a concert on Friday.
Yeah.
I'm going to see Sam Geltry, who's an EDM like UK Irish artist who's transitioned a bit to pop, like singing his songs in more pop nature. And I know he just released an album, and it's very like low key, like at the Roxy Theater, like low key vibe. I'm very excited because I've listened to his music since 2015, since he uploaded on SoundCloud. No one at me. I know this artist. Like, so I'm going out by myself. So like, I'm excited to do that.
The artist, I will give you a recommendation that I know he's going to LA, I think sometime soon, that it's a different vibe than most music that I think you've listened to so far. Darcy, Darci.
Let me look this up. I don't think I've heard this artist.
Probably have not, unless you've seen like 1 or 2 TikToks that I've posted with like his songs. It's a darker vibe.
De Novo, Darcy and Jer?
No. Let me.
No, it's 11.
Bro, did you see Max's comment?
My Thursday.
He put my Thursday solo queue as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
That's awful.
I am depressed.
That's awful. I try to go out once a week, like either by myself or with friends. Like I want to. Okay. Oh, I spelled it wrong.
Bro.
Got it. I will look up this artist.
Yeah,
anyway,
it's really good.
I will feel free to bring me on whenever. I'm gonna go cook my meal and not stare at esports all day, because if you're in esports, your job is your life, and I would like to have hobbies outside of my job.
Do it. Go have fun.
Okay, see ya. Thanks for bringing me on. Bye.
Thank you.
Hi, Paul. That was fun. Hey, what's up?
That was good.
No, we're not done. That was fun. I enjoyed that. I know K-pop is not really your thing, but I wanted to capitalize on everything going on right now and make sure that, we gave it a little bit of time.
No, it's good. I've listened to a lot of K-pop.
I didn't realize you were a BTS fan back in the day.
Well, I listened to them, and I think like EXO, something like that.
EXO's Love Shot?
That
was one of my favorite songs that came out in like the prime K-pop era.
Yeah, I listened to I went through like a period of really listening to it hard when I got back from AIT, because I was getting really into anime too.
Yeah.
So it's just like the natural conversion there, I guess. But it was fun. So, I don't know. I enjoyed listening to all of that just to like learn how big they are and like how big the scale is about to be. Because a big question you asked it was that like or not really Ticketmaster, I guess, over there, but the ticket comp question is like huge, because I don't know what they do over there, and I don't know how much they're going to be scalping and how big of a deal it is to go see them.
Yeah. I I mean, we'll see. I don't know. But I do want to touch quickly. I want to tell a quick story so I want to clip this for TikTok in a bit as well. I actually got in somewhat big trouble with RIot Games yesterday. So
really?
Yeah. So Monday, for context, or actually, let me back it up further. Last Friday, I signed the embargo to learn about who was doing the world song and get like all the press materials so I could like record my reaction video, get it up and ready for TikTok to be able to post, like all that. Rule with embargo is you don't talk about it until the time that's like specified on the thing. And it said specifically 4 p.m. Pacific time yesterday is whenever you can release about it. And I've signed one of these before. I signed it last year with Lil Nas X to get like the marketing material for that. And I never historically have said anything prior to like the actual thing coming out. But then Degon tweeted on Monday teasing it. Not the artist, not anything else. He's like, hey, World's Anthem news tomorrow. And I was like, okay. I've never seen anybody else tease this before, but I guess we're allowed to do that since I know he signed the embargo to be able to access that information. Like, sure. Like, if he's going to tease it, I'm going to tease it. So I posted a little teaser, like World's Anthem news tomorrow. Got an email from RIot yesterday at 4 p.m. I'm not going to read all of it, but basically along the lines of, you fucked up, don't do it again. I'm reaching out regarding your tease for the World's Anthem. I know Degon posted a tease first, and you were reacting to it. I've already, but this is a break of embargo. Even if it doesn't give super substantive information, moving forward, never do this again. I texted a personal apology to the people in comms and responded via email as well. But I was like, fuck. I was
sweating. So you were supposed to do that?
No. I was sweating bullets in the office when I opened up that email and saw it. I was like, oh, am I on Riot shit list for like now and forever? Like, no, like I never revealed the artist. I never did like I didn't do anything that like ruined it, but I just didn't know. Like, I should have asked within like the channels that exist of like, hey, he teased this. Like, am I allowed to do this as well? Like, rather than just like jumping on what was like what happened. Like, I should have asked. I didn't, and that's on me. And luckily, it's no harm, no foul. But it's like, whew, I was scared there for a bit. I was really scared.
Yeah, I'm sure that kind of email would freak me out too.
I was sweating. Like, you know the feeling whenever you see something like bad and like you're like everything drops and you just feel yourself like heating up like 5-10 degrees. Like, that was. You're
about to join TSM. I'll move into a new region. You're like, well, LEC, how's it going?
Well, no, the problem is this is RIot Global Comms. This is not LCS.
Oh. So you should have just been hosed.
I would have been hosed, period. I was like, oh man, I didn't intend to do anything bad. Please spare me.
Well, that would have been insane.
Oh man. But do you want to touch on the LEC salary cap, or do we want to shelve that for next week? I don't know if you have to go or do anything.
I mean, I don't have to do anything, but
gotcha.
I don't really have too much on it because it seems like it's fairly normal over in EU from what I read from Travis Gafford's thread. Like, it's actually not that weird over there. Like, I would have thought it was weird. Like, EU is pretty pro player, pro worker, but apparently that is a pro worker idea.
Yeah, it still is, as long as it's like tied to merit and like as you like the salary cap increases as you grow the popularity of the league and the revenues and everything else like that. As long as it grows with that, then technically, yeah, it's still pro player while also still making it sustainable. Like, just because it's not like, oh, you can rinse these esports orgs of millions of dollars because they're willing to pay for it because they're dumb enough. That doesn't mean that's like limiting that does not mean that it's still not pro player.
Yeah, that is true. And I think it's going to be good over there because there needs to be some formalized structure on how much players are getting paid. And every league's doing it, but LCS so far, right? Like,
yeah,
we're
but
the only
LCS
one.
is basically like we basically now have it without having it.
Yeah, because we're just refusing to pay people.
Yeah,
we've run out of money.
Well, not only that. So Cubby May replied to one of my tweets about it, and he's like, "Owners like spending's dropping. Like, don't think that teams are going to overspend for these imports because they're not. They don't have the money for it." It's like, okay, cool. But even on top of that, every other region having a salary cap effectively means that we kind of have a soft salary cap as well. Even though we don't have a set defined one, we don't have like Faker, for example. Say there's a $2 million salary cap in the LCK, and Faker's exempt from that, but because he's the one person. But then the other 4 players aren't, and they have a salary of $500K. Well, then technically for the LCS, if you want any of those players, all you gotta do is say, "Hey, we'll give you 550," because we know that they can't. We know that the LEC can't. We know that the LPL can't. So if you want to make a little bit more money, come to us. Now, granted, I don't think we're gonna pay.
There's not a lot of 550 yet going around.
No, that's entirely a made up number, to be clear. Like,
for sure.
It's gonna be more relevant in EU, where like salary cap is 2 million for all 5 players, which means 400,000 at most. But that's not how it's gonna work out. Some teams are gonna have star players that make well above that, and then it's gonna drop the others down. So as a byproduct of that market, you'll be able to just pay barely above what the other teams would be willing to pay for them.
Now, my only question on it I have is, do you think it's bad for the way that League is structured? Because League is structured a lot like soccer, and we have all these multiple leagues and we have a massive world tournament. And the issue with this is that, like, you can't build a super team if you're a lesser region, like, to keep your region relevant. You're kind of hemorrhaged into having to create like just a solid team that you hope wins your region, and I'm not sure you can actually go out of your way. Was this your new sponsor or something?
If Swedish Fish ever want to sponsor us, I promise you I will make this worth every fucking penny you invest into me. I swear. It is the best candy out there, and I don't want to hear otherwise. Fuck you, Meech.
I love Swedish Fish.
Chat. My opinion on Swedish Fish has no way in any shape or form anything to do with my opinion of Warriors, which is still the superior opinion. But that aside.
But I do think it's gonna hurt lower regions more than it's gonna hurt like the regions that are already talent heavy. Because all it's gonna do for LPL in China, or my bad, LPL in Korea, is that they're going to become more like what is the word? Like, there's going to be more across the board. It's going to be more even. Competitive balance and all that. And that's what franchising does. That's why the NFL does so well, is because there's a salary cap that holds everybody that level. It's not like the NBA where there's all these extra rules that kind of lets you get away with super teams. It actually holds you to that level. Same as like baseball, but luckily for baseball, there's so many positions and players that random stuff happens all the time and it kind of helps. But then you have like League, where I'm kind of worried, because as China and Korea become a bit more across the board and everyone's getting good, are we going to be able across the board to send teams that can compete? Because I know competing at this point doesn't matter. Like, we've never won anyways with the current system. But making it even worse isn't going to make it better. Like, the wins becoming faster, which I guess they are anyways, is just going to keep hurting us, because like, not winning internationally has just not been working, at least in esports. It's proven to be really bad for a region if they suck internationally. Other than Brazil. Brazil's found a way to keep growing and keep digging.
Because they're investing in things beyond just international success. Which, quite frankly, like, I mean, we've touched on it before. That needs to happen for us. But in addition to that, like, I get your point that it will hurt the smaller regions to a certain extent. But at the same time, the only reason the smaller regions have been able to succeed is because we have been able to buy some talent from the bigger regions. Which, if we don't have a salary cap, and CB LOL doesn't have a salary cap, you could still technically do that. But you wouldn't want them to do it anyways, because then your product's not sustainable. And at the end of the day, like, does competing at Worlds mean anything if you're going to bankrupt your league in 2 years because you don't have the audience or fan base to go along with it? You need to develop all those side by side. So I don't see the problem as more of like, oh, NA is going to handicap ourselves if we have like an artificial salary cap. No, it's arguably going to help us because it's going to force us to actually identify the issues that we need to focus on to grow our league, to grow those revenues, to grow the cap, because as you grow the league, the cap grows as well. Yep. Like that, you need to focus on those, and that will incentivize us to shift our priorities to the right things, which then could lead to international success later down the line.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, because I guess it is true too. Like, it's worth trying. We've tried a lot of other stuff, and it's just not working. Nope. So at this point, it's worth trying anything. Like, salary cap is going to be an interesting conversation for LCS going forward, but the overarching one is just always going to be viewership. Like, what can they do to fix that? And hopefully they have a plan for viewership. Like, I'm a little worried because if they're going into this fixing all this other stuff like salary cap and doing stuff like that, and viewership is still going down, it's good that the league, I guess, is getting to a sustainable level, but you have to have somebody there to watch too. It's a product that's built on entertainment value, so finding ways to get people to pay for it as it just slowly dies isn't really the most inspiring, I guess.
I agree with you. And to address Mac's point in chat, he said, how long do we think League has as a future? A long time. And that's going to be proven by the fact that I promise you, this is going to be the most watched Worlds we've ever had. By a wide margin. I think everything is shaping up this Worlds to just be absolutely incredible. The format changes, like everything about it is just going to shape up to be good. But all that's going to prove is that your audience is not in North America. And yes, we are going to have our struggles. And sure, you can argue like how much of a future does League have in NA? That we don't know. And that could be a problem later down the line. But if you're a League of Legends esports fan, you have nothing to be worried about whatsoever. You might have to shift your attention to a different region. LCS fans might have to become LEC fans. Because quite frankly, I think LEC is making all the right moves.
Yep.
And like
LEC's, well, other than the finals and the stadiums.
Yeah, okay, yes. That is a problem. But K-Corp's reportedly getting into the league here soon. Like,
okay, good.
It's basically going to be like us picking Premier League teams. Like, sure, you can have an MLS team that you support in America, sure, but you have to pick a Premier League team at some point. And
it'll be nice when you all become TSM fans when we're the LPL rep.
I'll probably become a Fnatic fan. Fnatic or G2, one of the two.
Oh, for LEC.
If G2, like, I think G2's move here is brilliant. They're now in Valorant Americas. I don't know if they're still planning to come to New York at all, or if that was like an idea that lived and died with Carlos. But like, imagine G2 having like this American presence, and then if the LCS were to like die, all those fans look to go to the LEC in some capacity, and then G2's like, hey, we already got shit here. Let's throw some LEC watch parties here in America. All of a sudden, all the LCS fans become G2 fans, and that's like, well, they thought ahead.
Hey, LPL 17th place team, dang near almost won an LCS split. I thought they did win regular season split when LMQ was here. That was the next joke. But what you're saying is very true. G2 is making the right moves. Like, I think G2 is setting up for the future a lot better than other teams as far as like keeping your Western audience focused on your brand.
Yeah.
But I'll never like G2 just because personal like stuff. I just don't like them. But I'm like, I don't know. I don't see a world where like where LCS dies. I just don't.
Neither do I.
I think it'll all be around, but I think it will be exactly what you said. It'll be like MLS. Like, there's gonna be a time where LCS is in a really bad spot, I guess it's right now. Like they're trying to survive,
Yeah.
and maybe a dream run will be the thing that saves it. Maybe just doing something else is gonna be the thing. But yeah, like Nick's saying, there's 0% chance they let a full region die. Like that would be silly. If Riot did that, they're gonna try everything in their best power to find a way to save it before they just let it die. I would hope.
Yeah.
I would hope. But I do think it's like one of those things where it's like, if there was a time to leave and you wanted to look somewhere else, this is probably your shot.
Yeah.
Like, are you getting low value on the sell end? As we've seen so far, yes, you technically are. But even as much as it is your time to leave and go try somewhere else, I also think it's a good time to buy. You want to buy low, sell high. That's the #1 rule. So there's gonna be the orgs that go down with the ship for sure. Like niggas saying, like C9 and TL, they're gonna be around forever. But it does make you kind of go, what is going on with the fact that these legacy orgs kind of just failed IMO? Like they didn't.
Oh, they carry more burden and weight here, I think, than the newbies.
Yeah, I think Jack, Steve, and Reggie have to be the ones that you go to and go, what happened for you to let Riot get the league into this position?
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason that all of them couldn't power together. Maybe Reggie had no more say because of things that happened, and they kind of pushed him to the wayside, which you can't blame him for. But Hotshot sold his team to an org that allegedly was going to care and then didn't give two shits about how the team went. Jack, I don't think is really doing anything wrong, but
they're not doing anything absurdly right.
Yeah, they're not doing anything right too much, other than winning the LCS.
But like
and
again,
Steve just really hard dug into making an all international team.
Yeah,
that
he went the
nobody.
TSM
Even with
2018 route
with fantastic. What? You can definitely blame Reggie. I didn't say.
No, he Nick, he just meant in terms like you can't like Reggie's been.
I see what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I meant Reggie like probably isn't talking to them because why would they be talking to Reggie? Reggie was a goofball. That's what I meant. But Steve, like they've had a really good social team. I don't remember their social guy's name, but what he's been doing has been really solid. The problem is that all the players are foreign, so nobody knows what they're saying. Like, there's no easier way to say that. Like,
it's like
nobody's really relating to him until APA came. Then all of a sudden we saw a resurgence.
Yeah, it's just like I feel like everybody went all in on the we need to try to capitalize on an American audience that blends in with international and just make the best of all worlds because we're online. And it just didn't work. You expanded yourself out too far in too many different areas that you forgot about the thing that made you who you were in the first place. Like, I don't know. I'm with you. Like, as much as we want to sit here and blame Clutch and Optic and, you know, Golden Guardians and those that came in afterwards, like, you didn't do anything for the league. Well, guess what? If we were in relegation system, those teams would just be replaced with no names below them. And they would probably struggle to make a brand as well. And you'd have maybe one or two over the course of 5 years that would come through in the same way that we had 100 Thieves and EG started to pop off before they were piss poor management. But then what do you know? That would probably happen as well. Like, the same problems that exist now exist then. Like, to me, I agree with your point that, like, your top end really dropped the ball. You carried the weight of the fan base. Now, granted, TSM is arguably the biggest culprit of that, of like shit started falling through with TSM fans, and they carried the weight of the region and the weight of everybody, but nobody was there to really rebound. Nobody capitalized on that. When TSM fans were dropping, whenever there were clear issues that like people were pulling away, there was nobody that came in and was like, I'm gonna actually do what they did in the first place to get up there. People were like, oh, I'm going to make a documentary series. I'm going to do this. But it's like, okay, but you don't have the personalities that people care about. so nobody's gonna watch. And it's like,
yeah, I think what really killed the league is TSM doing that TSM Legends system, and everybody else trying to do the same thing.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It didn't. I'm not gonna say killed the league, but doing that really hurt the league. And then also, orgs like ditching streaming. I think that pro player streaming was a really good part of it, but maybe you could also blame that for it because people were becoming fans of the player, not the org. But
yeah, but then that's the org's responsibility then to be able to convert those. Like
I think it's just on the org to keep them.
You had Optic back in the day that was pretty much the exact same thing, where like people were fans of Scump and Nadeshot and Big T and others, but like you were able to create a brand that those players bought into and believed in and wanted to preach the culture of said brand. Yeah. And that allowed it to continue on into eternity. With TSM, you had these personalities, you had all the same opportunities, and they didn't, like, you don't have anything to show for it now. You burned. And it really hurt.
It really hurt too, though, that Reggie did what he did.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think Reggie originally, like him being as intense as he was like the TSM way, and it kind of stuck with people. They were just like, he's always this way. Like Reggie comes in with the belt. That was like the meme back in the day. Was he comes in with the belt, but the time frame from when that was okay to now, a huge culture shift did happen in America at the same time. Like, there was a huge culture shift, and Reggie did not adapt to it at all. Like, I don't know what happened, but from like 2015 and 16, he would come in and do all this stuff and be really tough on players, and everyone was cool with it. And then after that, like, it kind of just shifted to people were like, nah, you can't just be that way. And instead of him switching, he just tripled down, and then even worse, started treating instead of players that way, which players in a team environment, maybe you could get away with it. He started treating just normal employees the same way he would hold his star mid laner. Like, he would go to a contractor and go, hey, we want to win, like, I want to win this day of keeping a server up. So you know what? You're not taking a day off, even if it's not in your contract, which is like crazy to do. You can't do that. You can't treat everyone in the organization the same way you treat a team that you're paying a stupid amount of money. Like players are going to get pushed hard by certain coaches, but when you're the owner of an organization, you have to find a way to separate that. And he never did. And him coming out and being a total jerk, like, definitely turned me off a lot. Like, there was a time where I was just kind of watching LCS, but also kind of not, because I was like, man, like, I want to be a fan of this team, but I felt like a Washington Commanders fan, you know what I mean? I was like, I want to watch this team, but at the same time, like, I don't, like, I don't know what to do here. So you just kind of stopped watching. And I don't think anybody really took the TSM fans that might have left in that time, rightfully so. Nobody really took them up. They all just kind of left. Nobody really soaked that up.
No. We are kind of long on this one. I know Con, I don't know if you're in chat, but he had another grid for us to do. I'm going to save that for next week. Next week, when we do this podcast, the World's Anthem will be out, so we'll be able to talk about that. There's a lot of other like general conversations that I feel like are going to be around that we'll have the chance to go over, but I feel like this podcast is long enough that I don't want to... oh, wait, was it Healy that said that? Sorry. I'm so sorry, Healy. My bad. I'm really sorry. Damn, that's a bad one. Never mind. That was Healy that had the immaculate grid. I feel like shit for fucking that up. We will do that next week, I promise. And next week I want to focus like entirely on like our Worlds preview and like where we think this might end up, and kind of go from there. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna have a guest next week. I'll let you know if we do, unless I get like some major personality to like that knows the teams and wants to come on and talk about it. And I can do my rah NA bullshit. But that's it for me. You got anything, Paul?
Nope, not really.
All right, chat. Thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I think we hit like 10 viewers at one point or 11. thank you so much for everybody being here. I really appreciate it. We will catch you on the next one. Adios. Good night.